He's a leader who understands that technology isn't just about systems, it's about trust, people, and purpose. Mr. Dilip Mathew.
With a presence in 22 countries, basically. And that is where I stepped into leadership roles, spanning cloud operations, cybersecurity, compliance, and governance.
You've built an incredible career from your early days in tech support all the way to leading global cloud operations and cybersecurity initiatives.
If I look back at my journey of the past 25 years, the biggest lesson for me is that careers are not linear.
Hey everyone, welcome back to FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I'm Charu Mehra, and today's episode explores the world that's shaping the future of every business on the planet: cyber leadership and AI governance. We're talking about digital frontlines where strategy meets security, where algorithms meet accountability, and when leaders are redefining what trust means in the age of AI. Our guest today is someone who's been steering this transformation long before it became a buzzword, Mr. Dilip Mathew. With over 25 years in IT leadership, Mr. Mathew has built and led global cloud operations, compliance, and information security functions that power enterprise resilience. He's been a driving force behind QAD India's journey to ISO 20000, 27001, and CSA STAR certifications. No small feat in the world of enterprise tech. He is a CISSP, CCSP, ITIL version 4 managing professional and a lead auditor for ISO 27001 and 42001, blending deep technical mastery with boardroom level governance insight. Beyond the titles, he's a leader who understands that technology isn't just about systems, it's about trust, people, and purpose. Mr. Mathew, it's such a pleasure to have you on FaceTime with Leaders. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Charu, and thank you so much for such a warm welcome. It truly means a lot to me, and I'm really excited to be here and to have this conversation. Thank you so
Great,
much.
great. So, looking forward to having a wonderful conversation with you today.
Yeah, same here.
Let's start at the beginning, Mr. Mathew. You've built an incredible career from your early days in tech support all the way to leading global cloud operations and cybersecurity initiatives. Tell us your story in your own words. How did it all begin? And what were some of the key moments or decisions that brought you where you are today?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Charu. My journey began in 1999 when I graduated with a computer science and engineering degree, full of ambition, aspiration, and expectation. But I walked straight into a recession. So there were no campus placements, no job offers, just pure uncertainty. After many months of searching for a job, my first break came at a small distributor office
Okay.
of an American software company in Mumbai.
Mhm.
So salary was modest, and I had to do everything. So I had to handle orders, product orders, deliveries, installations, pre-sales, tech support, office IT support, and even depositing the checks that we would receive from customers. So I was basically the office errand boy. It wasn't glamorous at all, nothing like what I had expected, but it was very foundational. It gave me a 360-degree view of how technology, customers, and businesses come together.
Right.
From there, I moved on to a European software services MNC,
Okay.
where I learned structured processes, quality management systems, the ISO system, CMMI, a balanced scorecard, and the discipline that comes with global operations.
Right.
That led me to an American ERP product company
Mhm.
with a presence in 22 countries, basically. And that is where I stepped into leadership roles, spanning cloud operations, cybersecurity, compliance, and governance. So along the way, I earned a master's in quality management. I also earned an LLB
Okay.
and a nickname Process Matthew. Okay. Now there there were like difficult moments also. So early in my leadership career, I was asked to build a three-member technical support team. So I did that with all enthusiasm. And just when they hit peak performance, I lost all three of them.
Oh,
It was a time of the 2008 financial crisis, and coupled with that was the Satyam scandal that happened around the same time. So, because of that, they resigned. Economic conditions surely played a role, but I knew deep within that I had a lot to learn as a people manager. See, I was an engineer who
right,
saw things in black and white.
right.
I did not understand the human side of things. Of course, I had read a lot of books like Dale Carnegie, and I'd attended a lot of courses, and I was aware at a very conscious level of what to do. At an academic level, I would have cracked exams if there were any in those subjects. But at the fundamental level, deep down within, all that was just babble for me, right? So I ended up losing my entire team, and that was a tough low. But the turnaround that happened, it was one of my biggest highs. So during that notice period of those three people, I hired seven fresh graduates. I
Oh,
trained them from scratch. I raised a team, and all of them went on to complete at least 10 years with the company. Some of them are still around, some are managers, senior managers, and watching all of them grow into confident professionals has been a deeply fulfilling experience for me.
I'm sure.
Another high was transforming this tech support team of seven people into a cloud operations organization
Oh,
where we put certifications like ISO 20,000, 27,000. CSA STAR. So when we started off, we basically had no roadmap. We didn't know what we had to do, but we learned things along the way. We designed global processes. We faced global auditors, and we built a strong cloud and cybersecurity foundation
right.
from the ground up. So if I look back at my journey of the past 25 years, the biggest lesson for me is that careers are not linear. They're shaped by curiosity,
Right.
adaptability, and a willingness to say yes to unfamiliar challenges, to say yes to foraying into uncharted territory. So these hard moments that I faced, they taught me humility, and the successes they taught me belief. And more than anything, I realized that technology keeps evolving. It's
Right.
very fast paced, but what remains constant is trust, values, and people.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? I just listening to your journey when you came out of your graduation and you were in recession. That time must have been so intense for you as a young professional,
Absolutely.
not having any idea where to go, what to do. It would have been so intense and so such enormous pressure. And I really see that how those first experiences sort of shape your approach,
Yeah,
early
yeah,
on when you understood how you got a 360 view of how a technology company works, probably
yeah,
might have helped you in the future as well. And
yes, yeah. If you ask me, I wouldn't have it any other way, right?
absolutely,
It's
really,
great experience.
taking on that challenge of when you lost your team and you had to hire new people and train them and seeing them succeed in their careers must have been such a proud moment for you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I always, and even those who have left the company are still in touch with me,
Yeah.
and it's proud to see them grow wherever they are. And then because those who are still with the company, I mean, they, as I said, are managers, senior managers, and they're taking on new challenges. So in a way, they are modeled around me, I feel, right?
Right.
Uh, so it is a proud feeling. Yeah.
I'm sure. That's wonderful. And kudos to you on that success, sir.
Thank you so much, Charu.
Great.
Thanks
So,
for the question. Great
yeah,
question.
time for a break. So, you managed massive global operations from cloud releases to compliance programs. How do you personally balance the analytical side of IT, the numbers, the metrics, with the more human side of leadership and decision making?
Yeah, that's a great question, Charu. So what I would say is that analytics are done on data, right? And data is generated during business operations,
Right.
which are performed by humans or systems that are operated by humans. So no matter what systems or technologies a company has, it's ultimately the people who drive their adoption and operation.
Right. Right.
So that's why I say it's not people, process, and systems. It's people, people, and people. Because think about it, processes are written by the people for the people.
Oh, yes.
Systems are designed and developed by the people for the people. Correct. So, at a basic level, if you get your hiring right, you train your people right, and you stay engaged with your people, the data, and then thereby the analytics, the metrics, the dashboards, SLAs, or what have you, they take care of themselves.
Absolutely.
So, as I was mentioning about my first team, the team that I lost. So, when I was asked to develop that team, I hired purely for technical aptitude. I trained them just to deliver results.
Right.
And engagement meant micromanaging targets and deliverables.
Right.
Okay, what is the status of this? What is the status of that?
Right.
That
Right.
was all engagement meant to me. So I lost the team. No wonder. Later, I was exposed to leadership models like situational leadership 2 by Kenneth Blanchard and programs like Manager as Coach, Manager as Mentor. And based on all that, I developed competency based interviewing techniques, a well rounded onboarding framework for any new hire in the organization. I also developed a global mentoring program, and all that helped me stay genuinely engaged with people. And the result was that all the KPIs, SLAs, MBOs, whatever was set for us by the management took care of themselves.
Absolutely.
I didn't have to obsess over numbers. So the takeaway for me is very simple. Staying engaged with people prevents problems even before they arise,
Right.
even before they surface.
Right.
Engaged employees lead to engaged customers, and that makes numbers look good, which makes you, the leader, look good. It's that simple.
Absolutely. What a wonderful way of describing it, and I see that balancing metrics with human insight at that scale is really impressive. The
Yeah,
stakes I'm sure must have been so intense then. And the way we talked about the time when you lost your team and you had to hire new people. So the small steps that you took that you were talking about, engaging them, keeping them motivated, must have been proven to be helpful. And that is what real leadership looks like.
yeah.
Learning
And
from your
initially,
mistakes. Absolutely.
right, right. And initially, it was all very unnatural for me because I was the engineer, right?
Right,
Black
right,
and white guy.
right.
But yeah, I realized the importance of human engagement, the relationships, the human touch, and all these training programs really helped a lot in shaping me and
Absolutely.
making me the leader that I am. Yeah.
Right. Wonderful, wonderful, sir. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you. Thank you for this great question, Charu.
So you've led a lot of tech rollouts, dashboards, system, analytics tools. But we all know that
Mhm.
not every next big thing lands smoothly. Where do you think companies often stumble when adopting new technology? And what's your secret to making sure tech actually helps instead of complicate things?
See, a few years into my career, what I realized is that technology is changing very rapidly.
Right,
Almost every 3 to 6 months, we would see new technologies getting released in the market.
right,
And I would hear names like Python and Tomcat and Pig and like I'm sure by now they would have run out of names, right? So it is that rapid, but what doesn't change is the people, right?
right, right.
But when people see such rapid evolution in technology, it creates anxiety in them.
Agreed, agreed.
Okay. So companies don't fail because the technology is weak. They fail because they don't have a buy-in of all the stakeholders at all levels.
Right,
They
right,
don't ensure that the customers are on board. They don't listen to the voice of the customer or incorporate that into their product planning. They don't even check if the customers really need this change. Do they need it? Do they need another technology? What problem is it going to solve?
right,
They don't listen to the employees, their own employees who have been with the customers, who understand the customers' pain points.
right, right.
And also, they don't try to understand the employees' anxiety with the new tech because employees always have this fear, will this new technology make me obsolete?
Right, right,
Right. So companies don't ensure the psychological safety of the employees. Like, for example, when AI came in, there was all this talk about AI replacing humans.
right,
But in my organization, we did a lot of talking with the people and we said that AI is here to assist you and help you to do your jobs better. So
right,
that creates a sense of psychological safety. So my approach has always been start with the why. Why are we doing what we are doing? Why
right,
this new tech? What problem is it solving for the customer?
mhm,
And then introduce the technology as an enabler.
right,
Not so when you introduce it, you start small. You start with a minimum viable product and you pilot it with a few early adopter customers
right.
based on intent, and you gradually add features in sprints,
Agreed.
right? If you don't follow that approach, surely your company is going to fail. So in my company, we once launched a new user interface, for our ERP product.
Okay.
And we did not consult our customers. We felt that this is the new in thing, this is the new technology in the market. So we didn't consult customers, we didn't consult our frontline support staff who know the customers' pain points, right?
Right.
And we just rolled out this product, and our implementation folks who were on site at the customer sites, they were at the receiving end.
And
They bore the brunt
right,
of the customer. And
right,
it took several months of patches and enhancements and training sessions to fix the mess. So the lesson is simple. Technology only succeeds when people feel that it improves their day.
right,
Playbook is start small, listen deeply, iterate quickly, and make people feel included. And the company is going to succeed. Otherwise, it's going to fail no matter how good the technology is.
right. True, true, true. And I feel that here transparency, being transparent plays a very important role. That way,
Yeah,
build a trust between your own employees and your clients. Right. And
absolutely, Charu. Yeah, I
absolutely.
completely agree. I mean that you really read my mind. I think. I mean that's something I didn't speak to, but you really caught it. Thank you so much for reminding me of that.
Absolutely, not a problem, sir. And I can actually, I've been through this, so I can understand the tension between tech and people, and that's so relatable because I also have a background of working with corporates, and I come from um, I have been a quality manager in one of my companies, so I actually get what you're trying to say here.
That's great to know, Charu. I mean, we are on the same page then, right?
A lot of things I can relate to what you're talking about.
Yes. Excellent. That's great to know. Thank you for sharing that.
So you've been a part of so many transformations: cloud, cybersecurity, AI, and governance. If you had to share one leadership lesson all those changes taught you, especially about people, what would it be?
That's another great question, Charu. So we always hear many a times that people resist change, right? But over the years, across cloud, cybersecurity, AI, and governance, the biggest lesson I've learned is that people don't resist change, they resist uncertainty.
Yes.
So, the most important thing a leader can give in that moment is clarity,
Right.
clarity of purpose, clarity of direction, and clarity of expectations. So, with clarity around the why,
Right.
why the thing, whatever you're doing, you create a shared vision.
Agreed. Agreed.
That that creates a psychological safety in people. People know that there's someone who understand, who understands what they're doing and will be there with them until the finish line.
Right.
So during our ISO 20,000, 27,001, and CSA STAR implementations, the team was clearly overwhelmed because it was the same team that was doing the operations, and they were juggling all the customer requests with the implementation and facing global audits. It was all new for all of us. And people who didn't understand the why of what we are doing, they just dismissed it as a gimmick, right? They said, it's just a sales gimmick for you guys to generate more,
More.
cloud customer. Yeah.
Right.
So that was a low moment because we were anyway stressed out and we were all very committed, but when we were not getting any support from the larger organization, and on top of that we were getting such comments, it was a low moment. So what we did is we like we took a pause, right? Let me step back, and we brainstorm on what is happening. And what we decided is we'll have a company wide town hall, right? So we worked with our office management teams, the HR teams, and we organized this town hall, and we communicated very clearly the why of all these implementations, why we need these certifications. And that brought clarity into the minds of the entire organization. And from that point, everything became much more easier. And that was a high. And so the core insight here is that transformations succeed when leaders listen first, you know, and then they lead second. So if you take care of clarity, your
Right.
people will take care of the change.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's so fascinating to hear how your approach was shaped depending upon that situation. And the stakes, I'm sure, would have been enormous here. And, you know, getting your view on how you turn things around doing a town hall, because I can, as I said before, I can totally understand what challenges you must have faced at that time. So getting that lesson on leadership, your perspective on leadership is so rare and so great. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Charu. Thanks for sharing that you were also part of an organization like mine, and you also have had like similar experiences. That's
Absolutely, I've had many such experiences, and um, those were my pain points when I was working. So yeah,
yeah,
it sort of gives you a sense of camaraderie that, if there is someone who's also facing this challenge or who must have faced this challenge. So, yeah.
Great. Thanks, Charu.
All right, Mr. Matthew. Time for a rapid fire round. No deep analysis, no long answers, just the first thing that pops into your mind. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. First one. Here we go. The first thing you check when you wake up.
Yeah, my calendar on my phone. Uh, yeah, yeah, like it sets them for the day. So yeah, that's
Absolutely.
what.
Yeah. So you know what you are expected during the day.
Yeah.
Okay. One habit that keeps you sane on a hectic day.
2 minute reset. Just step away and breathe. That's what keeps me.
That's a good way. Yeah. Wow. Nice. All right. Next one. What's your guilty pleasure comfort food after a long week?
Eggs. Like a well-made omelette, I would
That's
say.
wow. This is something which I've heard for the first time. I've been doing interviews since long,
Okay.
and this is the first time someone has said eggs. Usually people
It's around the
say
eggs.
sambar, rice, idli, things like that, but eggs is
Okay.
okay. One movie or show you can watch endlessly and never get bored.
That would be Suits.
Suits. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. If you could teleport anywhere right now, where would you go?
Shimla.
Shimla.
Yeah.
Okay, you are like a mountain person.
No, that's where I went for our honeymoon.
Oh.
So I like the place.
All right, okay. Next one. What's a small daily ritual that instantly lifts your mood?
Listening to soft instrumental music.
Okay. Wow, nice. Okay. If time travel were possible, past or future, where would you want to go and why?
I would say future, and I would like to see how AI really impacts and reshape society.
Society. Wow, nice. All right, next one. A quote or line you live by.
Just do it.
Just
Uh,
do it.
like I stole it from, yeah, I stole it from Nike. Yeah.
19, yes. All right, next one. One book or show you'd recommend to unwind. Unwind, not to learn, just to enjoy. So it's
No, there's this book called Team of Rivals,
okay.
the political genius of Abraham Lincoln.
All
So
right.
it's written for his goodwill. So that's a big book. So I can just go back to that. That's just any page, and I just start reading from wherever I left off, or yeah, anytime. So it's a good read. So yeah,
Nice. Okay. Next one. What's one thing people often get completely wrong about you?
that I'm a serious person. Very, very
You
serious
look kind of
person.
a serious person.
Thanks for saying that, Charu. But that's not how a lot of people perceive me, I guess. Uh,
Maybe your friends and your close ones know you better. So,
yeah, probably that's what it is.
okay, next one. If you could have dinner with any three people, living or from history, who would they be?
Uh, APJ Abdul Kalam is one person I would like to have dinner with. Then Dr. Manmohan Singh is another person. And from the present, I would like to have dinner with Elon Musk, I think, yeah.
Sorry,
Elon Musk?
Elon Musk. Okay, all
Yeah.
right, great one. This is a good one. It's going to be a very interesting dinner.
Yeah. Yes. I'm
Okay,
just
last one. If your life had a tagline, what would it be?
keep evolving.
Keep evolving. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Wow, love it. Thank you for being so quick, real, and full of personality. And I think our listeners just got to know the human side of you, the person behind the professional. So thank you for being so candid with us.
Thank you, Charu, for such great questions. Even though it was fun, but the questions were meaningful, I would say.
Right,
It's
right,
fun,
right.
as well as a lot of meaning. Yeah, thank you.
Great, great. Okay. So, Mr. Matthew, every industry has its wake up calls, moments when something goes wrong and forces everyone to step back and ask tougher questions. We've seen data breaches, compliance lapses, and even misuse of AI shake public trust in business. When you look at these incidents, what do you think is the real reason for leaders today beyond the policies and checklists?
That's a great question, Charu. See, most companies they have frameworks, global frameworks and controls and all the good stuff. But failures really happen when the culture of the company weakens.
Right.
When people at the top they start fiddling with the culture, by forgetting the mission of the company, the vision, the values, all that, all those good things that held the organization together for a long time. That's when we start to see decay, right? So
Right.
governance isn't about having these rigid checklists or processes and all these good documentation and stuff like that. It's about building a culture where responsibility is shared
Right.
and transparency is natural. So there shouldn't be a fear of speaking up. So when things go wrong, it should lead to an objective investigation to
Mhm.
understand the root causes of things,
Right.
not some interrogation process and blame fixing exercise.
Right. Right.
So over the years in the teams that I've managed, whenever mistakes have been made, which are bound to happen, human errors are a very common thing. But we always, conducted objective investigations. We did a root cause analysis using the five whys technique,
Right.
right? It was not an interrogation. It was not to fix blame. It was not to declare people guilty, or like not guilty. So because of that kind of a culture that we had, people would open up and they would contribute to these root cause analysis sessions. And we could get to the root cause of problems and come up with effective remedial measures, be
Right.
it correct. So governance works not because there are no mistakes, but because there is integrity, there is trust in the leaders, in the leadership, that it is okay to speak up, right?
Yeah.
Strong governance means transparency, uh, ethical foresight, and leaders who model accountability. So in crisis situations, trust is the real currency, and it's built long before the crisis actually happens.
Happens.
Right? Yeah. So companies need to be very cognizant of these hard facts and like and live up to these like ethical principles.
Absolutely.
That's my
Yeah, and you know what? It's really striking how much such incidents reveal about leadership beyond policies. And I can really imagine the pressure a leader goes through in those moments. And it's about the
right.
art of balancing ethics with ethics and action. So, as you said, governance shouldn't be just a tick in the box, a checklist,
Yeah.
but it should be in the DNA. And a lot of times it happens that we talked about transparency, we talked about being open to listen, and a lot of times when people don't get that they are welcome to speak up, things like incidents like these happen. So it is very important, as you said, to be transparent, to be clear, to be open to listen. So thank you for sharing your perspective with us.
Thanks, Charu, because what I've seen is in crisis situations, the first instinct is to find a scapegoat.
Okay. Mm.
That serves no purpose, right? So yeah. So we really need to be the ones building trust and creating a good culture in the organization
Agreed.
where transparency is encouraged. Yeah. Thanks, Charu.
Thank you. So you've also been closely associated with Directors Institute World Council of Directors, which focuses on shaping the next generation of responsible board leaders. What drew you to become a part of this community? And now that you've been involved, how has it changed the way you think about leadership and decision making at the top?
Thank you so much for this question, Charu. So, as I mentioned earlier, I hold an LLP from the Government Law College, Mumbai, which is one of the oldest law schools in the country.
Okay.
And because of that, I try to keep up with all the legislative changes that are happening in the country. And one major change or one major and noticeable change was the Companies Act 2013, which replaced the Companies Act 1956.
Okay.
So in the 2013 Act, there was an introduction of a mandatory uh, appointment of independent directors.
Okay. Okay.
1956 did not have anything explicit, but the 2013 Act said that certain kinds of companies should mandatorily appoint an independent director, and it also gave a clear definition of what an independent director is. So since then, I've had an aspiration of becoming an independent director because I wanted to understand leadership from a board's perspective.
Right. Right.
That is, board is the place where strategy, ethics, risk, and long-term value meet. So
Mhm.
I wanted to see leadership from that angle too.
Right.
Now the aspiration is there, and about a year ago, I became aware about the independent director's exam, which
Okay.
is organized by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India,
Mhm.
and I wanted to prepare for it, but it was not happening. I think I needed a nudge. So one fine morning, there was this, I think, email from the Directors Institute about a webinar.
Wow.
And I just accepted the invitation and I went with an open mind. And once I came out of that webinar, I'm like, yeah, this is the place I want to be. I was convinced and I enrolled for the course offered by the Directors Institute.
Wow.
I already had experience in cloud operations and cybersecurity, but uh, board level decision making, it requires a completely different lens. And Directors Institute has prepared me to wear that lens. So one of the highs was discovering how naturally cyber resilience and digital trust they align with board thinking. So I felt like a space why or like it felt like a place where my operational experience added real value. But there were like humbling lows also, moments where governance dilemmas they challenged my assumptions, right? So ESG was completely new to me.
Right.
It made me appreciate that board leadership isn't about power, it's not just power, it's about responsibility and making the difficult choices. So the experience with Directors Institute, it shifted my mindset from how do we execute this to what does this mean for the organization and its stakeholders,
Wow.
right? So I learned that stewardship matters more than supervision and proactive governance matters more than reactive fixes and the firefighting that we usually do. when we are managers.
Right.
I also learned that every decision it has an ethical aspect also. So the Directors Institute didn't just give me knowledge, it gave me a new perspective, and it has helped me evolve from managing operations to I would say safeguarding trust. So like I'm thankful to the Directors Institute for uh, creating such a good program, and I'm sure it is going to help a lot of people like me in like evolving into boardrooms.
So, Mr. Matthew, this has been such an insightful conversation. From leading global operations to building trust through cybersecurity and governance, your journey reminds us that real leadership isn't about titles or tools. It's about clarity, calm, and conviction when things get uncertain. Thank you for sharing your stories, your experience, and your perspective with such honesty. It's conversations like these that help us all, whether we're in tech, finance, or any other field, rethink what responsible leadership truly means like.
Thank you so much for having me, Charu. This conversation reminds us that leadership today isn't just about understanding technology. It's about building trust, staying grounded, and navigating uncertainty with clarity. So I hope that the experiences I've shared offer something meaningful to everyone who's listening. And it's been a pleasure chatting with you, Charu. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. To everyone listening, thank you for joining us on FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. If today's episode left you thinking, inspired, or even a little curious about how you can lead better, that's the goal. I'm Charu Mehra, and until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and as Mr. Matthew reminded us today, build trust before technology. You've been listening to FaceTime with Leaders. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.